now time for me to have a conversation with this amazing couple. 22 years together. The Wambugus. How is marriage?
Marriage is sweet.
It's sweet, huh?
Yeah.
Cecilia?
It's very good.
It's very good. Wow, you know, this might be like very shocking to many people hearing this, because people tend to think like marriage is just this difficult, hard thing. Like people even saying that, you know what, there's the honeymoon phase in marriage that only lasts for a few months, and then inside the marriage, so how about the sweetness? What do you agree with that statement? You don't? Oh, how come?
Because the honeymoon stage must be there.
Yes.
And indeed, it cannot last forever.
Mm-hmm.
A time will come when you'll feel, wow, this person, I think I'm having enough of them.
Yes.
But that is the most trying moment. If you overcome that phase, then your marriage will last.
Your marriage will last.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a phase not for the faint-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
That's the phase where we are tested.
Mm-hmm.
And just know what you're feeling is mutual.
Yes.
I remember he told me that
Yeah.
after we got married. When after 3 years, you know, you're like, wow, this thing, it's a bit tough. And you know, there are those feelings where you feel, oh, this guy. He told me, remember, the feeling is mutual. I was feeling the same.
Yeah.
So unless we fight it, we're good to go.
Mm.
And indeed,
You're good to 2 years. Wow,
Still the best.
what about you, Mvuku?
Yeah, I believe honeymoon is sweet. It's good. If you allow it to die, it will die. It is, you have to put in quite some work in it. Every other day is not like the other day, and different days come with different temperaments. But you have to really keep on working and be deliberate about it. Otherwise, it will die.
It will die. It will
For us, we have worked. I would not say every day is a honeymoon, but general life has been good. Yes.
What I'm hearing from the both of you is that the challenges are going to be there. No doubt, it is in case for every single relationship and marriage.
Yeah.
But it is for the both of you to be intentional and deliberate. Like, we're in this together, this thing has to work. You mentioned how you remember even your vows. Like, your vows are very, very special to you. Do you remember them? Can you recite them?
I will not remember word for word.
Yes.
But the key
Yes.
words,
Mm.
for better or worse,
Mhm.
till death do us part. Those are the key words for me.
Yes.
And to me, I think that is where the vow is.
Yes.
Because I say it in front of God and I say it in front of man. So to me, that's I remember. Maybe he remembers the other.
I see Mbugu smiling and laughing. What about you?
Yeah, much as I may not remember word for word. Yes, the import of it all and what I really treasure in it is that part of honor. I will honor you, love you till death do us part. I've really, to me, that is the key.
Yes.
And that is where the work is. Because that part of honor sometimes is tested. But when it is tested, how you come out is what is most important. Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful. It's going to be tested. The honor is going to be tested. And
Yeah.
I'll just love what it is that actually you said. And this is actually a challenge to you, to the ones who actually married. Eh? Do you remember your vows? Do you remember why you got married? I want to give you a challenge. Sit down with your spouse tonight and then you talk. Do you remember? Let's recite the vow together so that we can refresh your vows. Let me ask you now, Ombugu, you mentioned that she respects you. And I feel for a man, you know, that respect is very, very important. So what is it about her that makes you feel like your wife respects you?
Yeah. Sometimes almost subconsciously and very intentionally. As much as she may have the solution to something, she'll refer Sometimes not because I'll say no, but my input in whatever she's doing seems to be counting, which is, to me, is maybe all I need.
Yeah.
Sometimes I reach out to her and mention something, sometimes unintentionally. But then again, she'll take it positively. And where I've sometimes gone wrong, she'll correct me, but with love.
Wow.
Seated here, she cannot just, brat out something.
Yes.
And she takes time. And she's deliberate and intentional. That as it happens, she realizes that I'm still a man and with a fragile ego sometimes, and I need to be upheld. And that she does. She has done. Yes.
I love that. Even when you do wrong,
Yeah.
she corrects you with love.
Yeah.
Meaning the tone is very important. She's very, very careful about which words and the way actually she speaks. And oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, things are getting so hot over here. Please, let's take a break and come back so we can continue with this conversation. Stay tuned to Decoded. Welcome back, dear viewer. It is time for me to continue with this conversation with the Wambugos. Cecilia, you mentioned a key word that you featured a lot, trust. That he's earned you trust. Many women, they're like, oh my goodness, my husband, I can't trust him. Oh, my husband is this. Oh, my husband, where is he? He's not coming home. It's 6 p.m. What about him makes you trust him that much?
One, he's been very honest with me. He doesn't leave suspicions. Even for example, maybe he's running late, even to come home. He's a gentleman enough just to text me and tell me I'll be late.
Wow.
But again, I also learned to give him space, not to keep on nagging and phone calls every minute. No, we just agreed communicate. I think, and I'm insisting on the word communicate. He'll tell me tomorrow I'll be away, I'll be going with my friends somewhere. But don't just disappear. Let me know, because I'm part of you. I'm not controlling you, but I'm part of you. The same way I'm part of him. If I need to go for Chama, I do not just wake up and the next minute I'm calling him, oh, I'm not at home, I went. No, we agreed that we need to communicate for us. So if I know I'm going for Chama maybe next weekend, I'll tell him 3 or 4 days before, and by the Saturday I have Chama, so I'll not be in at this time. If I'm running late, I'll also do the same. I write him a text. Because again, I realized it is wrong, especially to keep calling someone. I found it a bit rude, because you're with your friends and your wife is keeping on calling.
As if she's policing you.
Yes.
Uko wapi na nani?
Yes.
Mpatie simu nisikie kama uko.
Yes, so I know that is not okay.
Yes.
So we chose just text, and I'll text back. Full stop.
Yes.
We don't need to tell everyone. We are looking out for one another this much.
Yes. Now, there's something that you both say, that you work in, you run the same business, meaning you're spending the same time at home, you're spending the same time at the workplace. Some people might ask, it's not boring. You don't get bored of each other.
No.
Yes.
It's I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes.
Anyway. We sit in the same office for a very long time. We even shared the same desk.
Wow.
Until we got a bigger office where I have one desk and his is the next one. And it's very interesting. I think so. We know when we are at work and we know when we are at home. When we are at work, he's Mr. Wambuku. When we are at home, he can be sweetie, he can be daddy, he can be either warrior.
Yes.
But when we are at work,
yes,
he's Mr. Wambuku. I'll address him as such. He'll address me as Cecilia or Madam. And we try to be professional when we're in the office. Again, we are human. There are those times we're just in the office and we're chatting, we're just laughing.
Wow.
And we've made it also our duty not to carry a lot of baggage from work
To home.
because then we'll be carrying the office home. Sometimes you can't avoid it because there are some burning issues where we find we're in the blankets and remember, hey, I need a check. You know?
Yes.
It will cross your mind and you'll discuss it for 3-4 minutes and then you remember, sawa, we'll pick it up from tomorrow.
Mr. Ombu?
That is true.
Yeah.
It is tough, especially when you come to make some decisions when your partner is your wife. We run a business, we do a lot of marketing. Actually, she's behind she's the engine behind us in terms of the numbers. I do a lot of outreach and marketing and customer service in terms of reaching out. So believe you me, in my course of day, I get to meet not just other men, but even other ladies who also make decisions elsewhere. And we have to, sometimes sit long hours. But then again, whatever decision that has to be made, especially if it's corporate, it will eventually have to land on the desk in our office. And we have to discuss about it in an open way. And whatever arrangements we have out there, they are common knowledge within our office, such that even if I'm not there, she's able to reach out to the other parties on the other end, and we're able to either close our deals, or if they are following up with payments or anything, now it becomes even her area of business. You countersign the check she's signing, and that is the way it is.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, this is really wonderful.
Yeah.
It's such a pleasure having this conversation with the both of you. And since Mr. Mbug, you mentioned that marriage is sweet, and Cecilia, you mentioned marriage is good, we have something in front of you. Eh? So there are 2 cups of honey. So there's a cup for Mr. Mbug, and then there's another cup for Cecilia. So I'll request you, if you may both take your individual cup and then you pour it inside the jar. There's a jar in the middle. You may do that right now. Okay. Yeah. Look at that. You pour it on. Wow, look at that. What you're pouring is actually honey. That is honey. Honey is sweet. We're talking about the honeymoon. Are you losing honey in your marriage? Wonderful, wonderful. So you may put the cups down. Thank you so much. And then there's a string attached to the jar. Can you lift up that string?
Both of us
Can you see? Just together. Just lift it up. Wow, look at that. What's the shape of that? That's the shape of the moon. So honey moon. So you've kept the honey in your marriage. Do you know why? Because you've both deliberately been adding the sweetness.
Yeah.
You've both been deliberately doing it. And so that is a very important lesson that we're here to even just share together. So you put your moon down, so as you keep on just having the honey in your marriage. And ladies and gentlemen, these are the lessons that actually you can learn from this amazing couple. You know what? Number 1, remember why you got married. So remember your vows. Remember why you're together. Number 2, keep on being deliberate. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm deliberately doing this. Even when we have some challenge, we are going to do this together. Number 3, appreciate each other. Appreciate each other. Number 4, as a woman, respect your husband, and as a husband, please earn her trust. So as you do these things, you're going to grow together and you're going to build a wonderful marriage. Don't stop doing the things that you used to do when you pursued each other. You can keep your marriage sweet. Even when children come, even when problems come, you can still keep it sweet. Now, to the both of you, how do you call him?
Officially?
No, not officially. as your husband.
Sweetie.
Sweetie. Okay. What about you, Mr. Mbugo? How do you call her?
I call her by her pet name,
Ah.
Sisi.
Sisi. Okay. And I know you have daughters,
Yeah.
right? Is there anything that you want to speak to? You want to tell your daughters, or you want to encourage anyone out there about marriage? You want to just advise them about marriage? Just briefly.
My advice would just be that get married for the right reason. Don't marry because of finances. Don't marry because of looks. Marry because of the person the inner person. Of course, beauty comes in because you have to like what you see, but at the end of the day, the inside, what is inside of that person matters a lot. And when you get into marriage, please go into it honestly. Not because you have anything to be something you really want from it, in terms of gaining financially especially, but companionship and friendship.
Wow. Mr. Ombogu, any advice to your daughters and to anyone who might be ever be interested in marriage?
Yeah, marriage is sweet and marriage is good. It complements and stabilizes a man. Were it not for the fact that I'm married to Cecilia, I may not be as organized as I am today. I may not be even where I am today, because together we have grown to the level we are in. Go into marriage with the right person, invest in that marriage, for the returns are sweet when you invest, and be deliberate.
Wow.
Yes.
Hands are sweet when you invest and be deliberate. And so right now I'll ask you if both of you can hold each other's hands. Both hands. So Mr. Ombogu, looking at your CC, your wife, is there anything that you want to appreciate or to profess or to speak to her as the woman that you've loved for 22 years?
Yes. Cecilia, I would want to really thank you for what you have been in my life and for who you have been. For the years that we've been together, you've really believed in me and brought out the best in me. I pray that we keep investing in each other so that in the fullness of time we'll even grow much happier and better. Thank you.
Cecilia, speaking to your sweetie and your honey.
Now, my dear, you know I've always said that I'm proud of you.
Yes.
I have seen you work so hard for our marriage and our family, and especially our children. You're the best thing that ever happened to us, and I always tell you that. I'm proud of you, I appreciate you, and I respect you. And I know there are many instances where I may have wronged you, knowingly or unknowingly. And I want to tell you that it's not been out of malice. No. I'm human. I err, and I'm asking for forgiveness. But again, I know that we have a long life ahead, and our journey is going to be more beautiful and better. And until God do us part.
Thank you.
And to just give each other a nice hug. If you want, you can kiss me. Man, you so much love over here, man. Ladies and gentlemen, love is beautiful. Look at this. You can still keep the honey in your marriage. You can still keep it sweet many years into marriage. If you are a dating or a married couple and you wish to be part of this show so that we can celebrate your love and also get to learn a thing or two about relationships and marriages, feel free to reach us on 22999 or reach us through our social media handle, and we'll be glad to have you on board. This issue of whether the honeymoon, the sweetness has to end in marriage has been decoded.